So good evening. This is an important problem. Consider the following set of process and the length of CPU burst time given in the milliseconds. So these are all set of process and the burst time is what are the execution time needed for this process execution. P1 needs 5 minutes to execute, P2 needs 7 minutes, P3 needs 6 minutes, P4 needs 4 minutes. This is called as CPU burst time, or it is also called as execution time. Here they didn't give the arrival time, so it will be considered as 0 minutes. So what's the question here is, assume that process being scheduled with round robin scheduling algorithm with time quantum 4 milliseconds. 4 milliseconds means, so every 4 milliseconds the job will be switched over to the next one. If it is completes before 4 milliseconds, the job is completes before 4 milliseconds, then it will be just with that with the CPU. So here what they are asking is the waiting time for P4. So they can also ask P1, P2, P3 and average waiting time. So first of all we have to draw the Gantt chart for this. So Gantt chart says this like this. So for the first job enters P1. So P1 will be execute 4 minutes as the quantum time is 4 milliseconds. P1 execute from 0 to 4. So all other processes are waiting at that time. Okay. So this time will be considered as a waiting time for other process. So after the fourth minute, P2 will be enters. So P2 will be 7 minutes it needs, but 4 minutes or quantum time. So P2 will be entered 4 to 8 minutes, P2 will be executes, and the remaining work is 3 minutes or there, and for P1 1 minute work is remaining. And the next one is P3. At the 8th minute P3 enters. Total execution time needed for P3 is 6 minutes, but here it executes 4 minutes. Okay, so 2 more minutes are there for execution. So 8 to 12 minutes P3 will execute, and P4 it need only 4 minutes. So from 12 to 16 P4 will execute, and the next time it will become as a round robin. After P4 completion it goes to the P1. So P1 what it needs? Only 1 minute. So 16 plus 1. So once the job is over within the 4 milliseconds, it will just quit with the execution. So after the 17th minute P1 is finished the work. So after that P2 enters. So 3 more minutes are needed. 4 minutes already executed. So 3 minutes work will be executed here. Then P3 is needed 2 minutes. So 22 seconds P3 will be executed. Here we have to calculate the waiting time for P1. So waiting time for P1 is, we have to consider the time which is not present P1 in this Gantt chart. So here is one P1, here is one P4. So 0 to 4 minutes P1 only executes. So we should not consider this as a waiting time for P1. So, and then 16th minute it enters and it completes by 17th minute. So the waiting time for P1 is from this to this. From this to this, 4 minutes, 4 minutes and 4 minutes. So 12 minutes. So that is 16 minus 4 also we can say that. 16, this is initial, and 4 minutes which is already P1 only executed. So this time only we have to calculate as waiting time for P1. So 16 minus 4, 12, and P2 is, so we have to observe wherever P2 is there. So here is one P2 and here is also one P2 in the Gantt chart. So in the P2 here 17. So already it executed 4 minutes. So 17 minus 4, that is equal to 13. P3 is, so we have to observe the P3 wherever. So here P3. So here it is 20 minutes. Already P3 executed 4 minutes. So 20, in this 20 minutes we have to subtract this 4 minutes. This minutes will be considered as P3 waiting time. So 20 minus 4, that is equal to 16. P4 is 12. So P4 is 12. The 12th second only P4 enters. So this and all will be considered as waiting time for P4. So 12 minutes. And they can also ask what is the average waiting time for this process? So at that time you have to calculate P1 plus P2 plus P3 plus P4 divided by number of processor 4, that is equal to 53 by 4, 14.25 milliseconds.